You don't have to scream because the mic is right.
All right, here we go. We're live.
Hi, everyone.
Assuming that you guys can hear us. If you can hear us, drop a comment. Let us know. I tested my mic. Didn't have time to test Alex's.
Let me
So,
know if you guys can hear me okay. Give a thumbs up or drop a comment so we know that this is working.
yeah, I mean, it should be. I'm seeing the green bars on my end. I
Testing,
think
testing,
I think we're
testing.
good. Kathy says hello. Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Can you hear us good, Kathy? If you can, let us know just so we're not talking to
Hi,
ourselves.
Steph.
Hey, Steph. How's it going? All right. So the main topic for oh, sounds fine. Perfect. Thanks, Kathy. So the main topic for tonight is going to be Epic Universe. We had the opportunity to preview it a couple weeks ago during team member previews, which was awesome. And we were basically trying to figure out, does it make sense to do like a regular video, like a sit down video? But we just had so many things to talk about,
So many thoughts.
so many thoughts. And we were like, we haven't done a live stream in probably 3 years.
And I love doing live streams. We need to bring these back more often. I just like the casual vibes,
Oh, yeah.
getting to like talk to you guys and interact. It's the best. So I think we're going to incorporate these more if you guys enjoy them.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, if Alex keeps looking over to the left, we have our baby monitor over here. So at any point in time, if the baby gets up and needs some help going back to sleep, one of
I
us
might have
might
to jump off,
one of
but
us might pop out. But yeah, so we were trying to figure out like how do we talk about our epic experience, and like limiting it to just like a regular YouTube video I feel like wouldn't be enough. And also we had a bunch of questions that you guys asked us on Instagram. We were getting DMs like that day, or not that day because we didn't post, but when we did post that we did go, like we had a bunch of questions and we're like, you know what, we answered a bunch of them already on Instagram. We'll revisit some of those tonight, but I just feel like a conversation is more suited. We were also inspired by our friends Brendan and Catherine, Detour to Neverland, who did a whole podcast episode.
Yeah.
They were with us that day. And we were like, you know what? Let's sit down and chat.
yeah.
Also, want to say hi to Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Been subscribed since you did your Alani series. Thanks for all the great content. And thanks for bringing up Alani.
I am dying to go back there.
Yeah, we actually
One day, hopefully.
a couple weeks ago we were in Animal Kingdom and we ran into a family I believe from Ohio, and they told us the same thing. They were like, "Oh, we watched all your Alani videos. We're
Yeah.
going." I believe they were going in June, and we instantly got jealous
Yeah,
because
take us with you.
that place is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to kind of go through our Epic Day. Obviously, this is a two-way conversation too. So if you guys have any questions about Epic Universe, anything you want to know about like our visit, just the park in general, we did only go one time, but we are going back tomorrow for the first day
For annual pass holder
of annual
previews.
pass holder previews, which I'm
Yeah.
excited about because now we can actually film content.
Yeah, so look out for a video in the future because we will film everything tomorrow for you guys to see, because during team member previews, they were super strict. We were not allowed to take pictures, videos, nothing, which was kind of nice because it like really forced us to like be in the moment. Like we had
Oh,
our
yeah.
phones away the entire day and we really got to like experience everything just for us. But tomorrow we will be able to film everything for you guys. So keep an eye on the channel for a video coming out.
Multiple videos.
Soon. Yeah, multiple
we have
videos.
we have a handful of videos that we're going to be filming tomorrow just because we have to like maximize our time there. We do have, as of this show, one additional day that we're doing an AP preview. We might tack on another one, just depends. And then we have a bunch of days in May, like the opening
when
week.
it opens to the public in
Oh
May,
yeah,
so.
which is gonna be a lot of fun. So as we kind of go through this, if you guys have any questions about Epic, just drop them down in the comments. We'll answer probably all of them, assuming it's something we experience, because we didn't get to experience every single thing.
Because it is in previews, not everything was open. So there were a few rides that we weren't able to experience and a few different things that they were still working on. But we did get to do a lot. So
Yeah, we did. So let's, well, Stephanie has a question first. She said, can we talk about the parking at Epic? I'm curious for when I come down in June. So the parking lot at Epic is pretty big. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. A lot of people were saying it was really small, but we thought it was quite big. And at the time that we went, there was still like stuff going on in the parking lot. They were using certain sections for like storage.
like storage, yeah.
Basically. So we didn't even see like the whole parking lot, but I think it's quite big enough.
And I remember us saying it almost reminded me of like the Hollywood Studios parking lot where there's like two different sides. And then there was probably like 5 or 6 different sections.
Yeah.
So there was like the monster section, you know, et cetera, like all different. But they do have like handicapped parking. They have like the premier parking that if you want to pay extra for to get you closer to the front.
Yep.
But
Valet.
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the valet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of reminded me, if you're familiar with Hollywood Studios and their parking lot, it's very similar to that.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Definitely a similar vibe. Also, if you are an annual pass holder like at Universal Studios, or, well, you don't get to choose the park, but if you have a Universal Orlando annual pass that has parking included, you still get those same privileges over at Epic. So we have the Premier Pass, which gets us the prime parking and the free valet, and we can use that over at Epic too.
Yeah, which is nice. And then if you are staying on property, they of course have the buses that'll take you over to Epic Universe, and the bus depot is right in the front of the park.
Yeah. So I mean, the first couple of days, honestly, for a long time, it's obviously going to be insanely crowded. But I would think more often than not, you'll be able to park there and just walk up, as opposed to having to take a shuttle over from City Walk. But if the parking area does reach capacity, they are going to shuttle people over. So yeah. And also, it was actually really nice. And that it's a good question, because that was our first impression of Epic. Was it is really nice to go to Universal and just park right at the entrance to the park.
We kept saying that because when you go over to Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, you have to park in the parking garages and then walk all the way through City Walk, which can sometimes be like a pain. Like you have to go through all the people. It could be very crowded, and it's just a lot to get there. So it's so nice that you just park and walk right into the park. It's like park and walk right into the park. I didn't mean to say that. But
park and walk.
It's basically, it makes it so easy, very convenient, and it's just like stress-free.
Yeah. Yeah. So no gripes with parking. Again, we were only there once, and we were there on a very light crowd
Yeah.
team member preview day. There were some posts like in the pass holder group of people saying like everything was well over an hour wait when they went. We didn't have that experience at all. The longest I think we waited was for Hiccup's wing gliders, and I believe
Yeah.
we waited like pretty close to an hour. And then Fire Drill, which is also in How to Train Your Dragon, that was a pretty long wait too. But everything else was pretty average. I'd say like
Yeah.
30 to 40 minutes. It was
But
very light though. Like it
Don't
was not
expect
crowded.
that when the park opens.
Right.
Though. When it opens to the public, expect to wait.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some long lines.
And like I would expect definitely longer waits with the annual pass holder previews because
Yeah.
now like they're bumping up the capacity. So they just ended team member previews. They're moving starting tomorrow into annual pass holder previews, but it's not even just annual pass holders. It's if you're staying on property at hotels, you can buy a ticket. I believe they opened it up to like military families as well. So the capacity is definitely going to be higher. So I am curious to see tomorrow when we go,
How different it is from team member previews.
right. And like,
Yeah.
does that change our strategy on like rope drop and whatnot?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's probably best to just kind of go through the day, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I
start
was
at the
gonna
beginning.
say, yeah. So you want to talk about like entering the park?
Yes, because
Okay.
that was it was something I'll like never forget, and not trying to be dramatic or anything along those lines, but I mean we've been literally watching
Waiting
this
for
park
this.
get built for 6 years since they announced it, basically, and we've been
Yeah.
living down here now for 3. So the bulk of the construction we got to see. I don't want to say firsthand because you couldn't go on the construction site, but as close to firsthand as you can get.
Yeah.
Just driving by, and we did a few videos on the updates,
And-
and it was cool to
and
kind
the
of be there.
The fact that there hasn't been a new theme park in how many years?
It's either 98 or 99, like when Islands of Adventure
So it's
or
been
Animal Kingdom opened.
It's been a while, and this is like a once in a lifetime thing. Like everybody in the Orlando area, even people not in the Orlando area, are super excited about this, and it's so cool that we're gonna get to experience the opening of a theme park. We were too young to like remember the other ones opening, so this is like a
Yeah.
huge deal. Hashtag theme park adults.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to Disney for the first time until 2000,
Right.
and Animal Kingdom would have been the newest park at that time, which we did do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like to your point, this isn't something that you can do every day, and like I'm sure we'll be able to do this again in our lifetime. I would be shocked if Disney doesn't do a fifth gate in
Yeah.
our lifetime, but it's just something, and that's what we kept saying to each other when we walked in was like, this is cool. Like, this is a historical moment. Like, we are some of the first people that are in this brand new theme park that's like kind of taken the world by storm, or at least the theme park world by storm.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. Like, what a
It was a
surreal
little
feeling.
emotional.
Yeah. I answered
Which sounds silly to people that like aren't theme park people, but for us, we were like a little teary eyed.
Yeah.
But it was, oh, hi KJ.
Hey, KJ. Oh, and Lauren said Animal Kingdom was 99. Okay. Same time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, walking in, it was definitely a little emotional. It was beautiful. Like
Yeah.
they did an amazing job. Like Matt said, we've been following it. So like we've been seeing like construction updates and like, what we thought it was supposed to look like. And they nailed it.
Yeah.
Like it was so beautiful. And like when you first enter, well, let's first talk about the portal. When you first walk in,
Kronos.
the Kronos, yeah. The Kronos is so cool. It has like a little quote on the outside. I don't remember exactly what it says. But after you enter that and you see it like open up, like the view is so pretty. It has water in the middle with fountains. The Helios, like the main hotel, is right in front of you. It's
Yeah.
just like such a sight to see.
Yeah, the Helios is the focal point, or visually when you first enter the park. That's like the Cinderella castle of Epic
Right.
Universe. You first walk in, the thing that you see is the Helios Grand, and it's beautiful. Like it's an awesome reveal. Just the whole layout of the front entrance is really, really nice because it's very like grand and majestic, but at the same time, like it feels like a park.
Yeah.
So that like that Celestial Park feeling of, Universal Creative said they want to bring the park back into theme park. You kind of get that before you even go through
Right.
the turnstiles or whatever. There's a lot of nice like plant life and,
The water and
yeah.
it's
yeah.
not like you're walking in and you're just seeing like roller coasters and like it's not like theme park doesn't get like slapped across your face.
No.
Like you almost, and we'll talk about this too, like you really can't see what's in each land when you're standing in the front of the park. When you're in Celestial Park,
Yeah.
it's it's more just about that section. Like you can't see like what rides and roller coasters and whatever in that section of the park, which is kind of nice because it's just like its own feeling.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that stood out to us too is the sight lines. Like it was the way they control the sight lines when it comes to the portals and like what's beyond the portals is very like old school Disney.
Yeah.
Like
very well thought out.
very well thought out. Like Disney doesn't do that anymore. They don't necessarily pay too much attention to like the sight lines. Like you can see, Galaxy's Edge from other parts of the park. Like
Right.
they don't try to like mask it as well as they used to, like back in the day. But Universal took a page out of Disney's book there because that was very, very, very well done. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then the portals themselves are like
So
cool.
So cool. It really feels like you're going through a portal and then the second you go through it, you're just in another world. Like
Yeah.
it truly, that is like what they just nailed it. It's so cool. So the first part of the park or world that we went to was Dark Universe.
Yeah, Dark Universe was the first portal. Obviously, you have to walk through Celestial Park to get to any of the other
portal.
portals. It's similar. I don't know if it's exactly like a hub and spoke layout, kind of like Magic Kingdom, but it reminded me of that in that way because Celestial Park is the centerpiece, and then everything kind of offshoots from there. But like we were saying, Celestial Park is a park. Like that's a place you can go and once they sell annual passes, like you could just go and like sit around and hang out. Like
And
it's beautiful.
There's restaurants in Celestial Park. There's a Starbucks. There's the different stores when you first walk in, like the main Epic Universe store.
Yeah.
There's a Christmas store. So there's definitely a lot to do. There's the carousel.
The carousel, which we did not get to do, but
That's
it looks
one thing,
awesome.
Yeah. So there is like stuff to do in Celestial Park.
Oh, yeah.
And we kept saying too, like I feel like once we go to Epic like a bunch of times and we do everything, that'll be the place like that we go at night just to like hang out, walk around, like get a drink. There's a bar right there near the water too. So it's definitely a nice place to just like chill with friends or just like go after work and hang out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'm not saying this to like throw shade or anything, but Celestial Park is what I wanted like the middle of Epcot to be. When they announced that they were like taking out the Fountain of Nations and that whole Communicore section, that's like what they did in Celestial Park. Obviously, it wouldn't have been as grand as Celestial Park because that's like almost the size of Epic Universe. But like the beauty of it with like the water elements and all the different, plants and trees and like the feeling of a park, that's what I was kind of hoping for to come to Epcot. But we got it at Epic, which is awesome. It's beautiful. And then like you said, like the first portal we went through, the first land we went to was Dark Universe, and Dark Universe was at the top of our list. And I would say like we're gonna definitely nail down our like rope drop strategy over the next couple times we go. I would say for you, if they're doing a standby line, like run to Battle at the Ministry because that's going to have the longest wait. They are testing virtual queues right now, so I don't know if they're going to even be doing a standby like come official opening. We'll keep tabs on
That's
that.
definitely probably going to be the longest line.
Yeah,
if
but
they do a standby.
right, and we knew that wasn't going to be open when we did it because that ride wasn't open at all, like until that point.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, maybe Stardust Racers, and then we scanned in, and they said Stardust Racers was down for the day,
Right.
which is all par for the course. Like this is a technical rehearsal, team member preview. None of the rides could have worked, and it would have been fine with me because we didn't
At least
pay. We didn't pay.
And we got to just be there.
Yeah,
and see everything.
I just wanted to go walk around. So we decided to run to Monsters Unchained and Dark Universe. And my gosh, like as somebody who is a big, Universal Monsters fan, is a big Halloween Horror Nights fan. I mean, my water cup that I'm drinking out of is an HHN cup right now. I was very, very excited for this attraction. They hyped it up, and long story short, I mean, they crushed it. It was everything I wanted it to be.
And I think a lot of people were excited for Dark Universe because HHN is so popular, the Universal Monsters are so popular, and Universal listened and gave us a part of the park just solely based in the villains and not the villains, but the monsters and that whole area, and they nailed it. It is so cool. Monsters Unchained is unlike anything. Well, that's not true. It's the same type of ride as the Harry Potter ride. But just the animatronics and the details that went into that ride is just beyond. It is so, so cool.
Yeah.
Those animatronics are huge.
Just huge. I mean, I was expecting them to be life size in the sense of okay, Dracula isn't 10 feet tall. Dracula is a regular guy. You know what I mean? The Phantom of the Opera, obviously Frankenstein's really big, but everybody else is kind of normal sized.
Yeah.
These figures in this attraction are larger than life. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything.
And so advanced.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil anything. We're not going to tell you what happens on the ride, so you don't have to worry about that. But all I will say is they are the most impressive animatronics I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they're all equally impressive. And then when you put them all together in one attraction, you're like, holy cow! This was the coolest animatronic based ride I've ever been to.
I had to pick Matt's jaw off the floor when we got off. But another thing to note is there is a single rider line.
Yep.
On a lot of the rides.
I think almost every single big ride, big attraction has a single rider line. The one thing I'll tell you, because the only single rider line we did was Monsters Unchained. We actually rode it twice. The second time it was a 50-minute wait, and we went through.
We were let's just do single rider.
Yeah, let's just do single rider. You miss the entire pre-show.
Yeah.
So seeing that big Frankenstein that walks, which isn't a spoiler. They've Universal already put that video out. But when you meet Igor for the first time, you miss all that. So don't do that for your first ride through.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, make sure you stand in the standby queue the first time so that you don't miss any of that. But then afterwards, if you kind of want to save some time, do single rider. We hardly waited.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Yeah, Kathy said Universal could be a week-long park for us out-of-state visitors. I've only been twice, but only for 2 nights each time.
People were asking us how many.
We get
days.
this question all the time.
Yeah.
Alex is a travel agent on the side, books a lot of Universal and Disney trips. What we're seeing, just in our own little bubble, in terms of either clients that Alex might have or friends and family that are coming down. Now that Epic is here, this is going to be really interesting. Do I think people are going to stop going to Walt Disney World? No. That's not going to happen. Disney's not going anywhere. You can make the argument, although I think Epic is an outlier. Universal and Disney have different target audiences, right? Universal before Epic, I wouldn't necessarily recommend to a family with kids like maybe under the age of like 8, let's just say, right? Because there are more thrilling rides with higher height requirements and things like that. Epic's a total game changer because now you have How to Train Your Dragon, which is, it might be the best land in the park.
Yeah.
It's climbing our list.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. And then you have Super Nintendo World, which all, kids, especially little boys, love Mario at some point in their life. And that's something that's multi-generational. Like I played Mario, my dad played, Super Mario, like that spans generations. So you marry that with the fact that like this is a brand new park. You cannot do it in a day. I would even argue you could probably it would be very hard to do everything in 2 days.
Right.
So like,
and especially once it opens, because it's going to be so crowded. Everybody's going to be running there. So if you really want to like get everything done, I would even suggest to like wait a little bit till the hype goes down.
Yeah, or just buy Express if you have like the money to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say it'll be hard to get everything done just in 2 days and just at Epic. If you're also like wanting to go to Universal and Islands of Adventure, then that's a whole nother story too.
Which also like right now, like that's how you have to go. Like they're selling the bundled tickets, other than annual pass holders. I mean, I think they did release single days for non-pass holders, but it's like past June and a lot of the dates are already sold out for the summer. But all that to say, like Universal is now arguably a week-long or close to a week-long destination. So you have Universal and Islands of Adventure. Say you do a day in each of those parks. That's 2 days. You're going to Epic Universe. That's another 2 days minimum, right?
Yeah.
Volcano Bay, in our opinion, is the best water park in Orlando.
Yep.
I love Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, but Volcano Bay is just the best.
Yeah.
So, if you do Volcano Bay for a day, now you're at 5 days.
Yeah.
And like that's not even factoring in like a pool day, if you're spending a lot of money for Hard Rock or like Helios or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see like the split now. Like are people, at least in the short term, going to do 4 to 6 days at Universal and then tack on a couple at Disney and not stay on property? It's going to be really interesting to see. I think that's something that Disney like grossly underestimated.
Yeah.
Because like I said, people are still going to go. Like Disney is Disney.
Yeah.
They do have some new stuff coming out, which is exciting, although it's probably going to be years before we see that stuff.
I don't know, and not anytime soon.
But it will definitely be interesting to see the split. Like that's where I think they're going to feel it the most. And, they've ran a lot of promotions for the summer. Like they got crazy deals going, for the summertime. So I think they're going to feel it more on the resort side for sure.
So our friend Connor has a question for you.
So Connor says, when will Matt be getting his Frankenstein makeover in the dark universe?
I have the same question.
If this stream ever gets to 100 likes, I'll get my my Frankenstein face paint, or maybe I'll throw a photo on Instagram if it gets a certain number of likes. Definitely not doing that in the summer though.
It'll drip right off.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, I doubt anybody that's watching this is considering doing the monster makeover thing in Dark Universe, but just in case you are, you can't buy alcohol if you get your face painted.
What?
I guess it makes sense because I guess like, maybe they don't know that it's you. Like when they check your ID.
I didn't know that.
Because like your face is going to look different.
Huh.
So just something to keep in mind. If you're,
Wow, I did not know that.
I know. I know Connor likes his beers in the park, so you might have to wait to get your face painted. Mr. Disney King said, so are the single rider lines like midway through Hagrid's or straight from the beginning? You kind of cut through the queue. It's more similar to like Forbidden Journey, at least on Monsters Unchained, I would say. But at least on Forbidden Journey, you still get to see, like the scenes. Like you kind of walk past them pretty quickly, but you don't really miss a lot of the pre-show. Like I said, Monsters, you go through the usual route, and then it takes you down this like weird hallway where it feels like you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It truly feels like you're like, underground, like in the catacombs of a manor. So the theming was good.
Yeah.
But you just miss like the whole pre-show, like the whole reason you're going on the ride. You don't get any of that. You don't get to meet Igor, who's like an awesome character, original character. So yeah, you just don't necessarily know like what's going on storyline wise. I'm doing 3 days in June. Got 3 days to get it right. I think 3 days is really good. That's a good amount of time. I think, one day you can kind of focus on just the rides themselves. You can have another day of, maybe more food based and like truly taking in the land and like doing the character interactions and all that stuff. And then, the third day, like if you're somebody who's interested in like the power up bands or the like the wands in the Wizarding World, that's a good time to do that, because just those two things alone, that's going to take you a few hours.
Oh yeah.
So I think 3 days is a great start.
Going back to Dark Universe, there is a lot of entertainment, not just in Dark Universe, but throughout the day we saw a lot of entertainment, which was so nice to see, because like looking back on like COVID days, they cut a lot of those people in Disney and in Universal.
Yeah.
They took away a lot of the live performers and the entertainment. So it was so nice to see that back in the park. So when we walked into Dark Universe, we did see some characters roaming around. There was like a storyteller playing the violin, I think.
Yep.
Kind of like telling you the story about, was it Frankenstein?
I think when we saw her, it was Dracula.
Dracula,
yeah.
Okay. But it's really cool because you can like interact with the characters, take pictures with them.
Invisible Man was there.
Yeah, so cool.
And he's a savage. So if you meet Invisible Man,
he doesn't hold back.
He will probably roast you.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the thickest of skin, maybe steer clear of the Invisible Man. But just great characters.
What else did we do? We also rode Curse of the Werewolf.
Yep.
So that was another ride that we got to do. It's a short roller coaster, but I thought it was fun.
I liked it. A lot of people
were disappointed.
Now, like the thing, I guess the juxtaposition of like the two rides in that land is what's getting people, because you have Monsters Unchained, which is like one of the most advanced, probably the most advanced dark ride ever. And I do want to like specify that it's like more of a dark ride than it is like a thrilling ride.
Right.
Excuse me, there are a couple of moments where you will get kind of thrown around a little bit, but I definitely think Forbidden Journey is more intense. Like, and I'm not talking about the screens. I'm talking about like the movement of the Kuka arm. It's definitely more in line with a dark ride, just like a little bit more elevated.
Yeah.
So you have that's like so advanced, and then the Curse of the Werewolf is a fun coaster for what it is, but like really lacks the theming to me. Like the wolves that are in like the shed that you pass through. First of all, you pass through that shed so fast you barely even see any of the werewolves.
Make sure you look up.
Yeah, definitely look up. And then at the end of the attraction, you meet Maleva, who is a character from the Wolfman movie. She's like the gypsy woman who tells him that he's got the mark and all this stuff.
She wasn't a true animatronic.
No, she was just a static figure. She didn't move. So. And she did have audio, but like they just kind of played it through a speaker. So like the theming is not nearly as good as what it is on Monsters Unchained. But the coaster itself I thought was fun. I would say I would never probably wait more than like 30 minutes tops for Curse of the Werewolf.
Yeah, I would agree. But I still thought it was fun. Like after hearing that people were like so disappointed in it, I was kind of surprised. I thought it was fun. I liked it. The other things that we experienced in Dark Universe was food. Yep. We tried 2 different places for food. So first we went to the Burning Blade Tavern, which is a bar essentially on the inside, a tavern. But then you can also order food on the outside. And we did try a few things and everything was so good.
Yeah, like the theme of the day as it relates to food was
10 out of 10.
Everything we had was so good.
Yeah.
Like Dark Universe, Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon. Like the food was some of, if not like the best theme
Theme
park
park
food.
food.
And I'm not
Yeah.
being like dramatic. We're people that have had a lot of theme park food.
Yeah.
You know, it was some of the best there was.
We were
Now,
pleasantly surprised.
yeah, I just hope like the quality
Stays.
maintains because like, you know, this still is in previews. I hope the food quality stays as it is because if it does, game changer in
Yeah.
terms of food. And I'm not the biggest fan of Universal in-park food.
Yeah.
I do like Finnegan's, and there was something else I was gonna think of. Oh, Minion Cafe, hit or miss.
Yeah.
But overall, like I'm not the biggest fan of like sit down or like the quick service spots in Universal. But this is a game changer. Like this
Yeah.
food was
really
awesome.
good.
It was really good. But yeah, we ate at Das Steakhouse. We had a few things at Das Steakhouse. Also, everything was like half off because it was during team member previews.
Yeah.
So we were just loading
We
up.
were like, let's just get as much food as we can. But also the other thing about Burning Blade was there was characters on the inside. So there was
Yeah.
more entertainment, which was really cool. They interact with you in there.
There's a couple of like monster hunters that would like
yeah.
come around and, you know, just kind of tell you stories of like the monsters they've encountered.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're not a monster. Like I had a Roosevelt shirt on with like all the heads of the classic monsters. So like Frankenstein, the Bride, everyone. And they came up to me and they're like, you know, are you on our side or you were on their side? Like it looks like you're repping team Monster.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, listen, I'm with you guys. Don't hurt me. But
the food was, both of the things that we tried from there was really good. And then Das Steakhouse, the theming on the inside was really cool. It was like really dark and eerie, and there was like different monsters on the wall.
yeah.
And it was, I think we ordered at our table, right? Like you scan the QR code.
Yes. You mobile order and then they bring it to your table.
Yeah.
Whereas
so it's nice, you don't have to just like stand in a line. You could find a table and
Yeah.
order it, and then they bring the food right to you.
yeah, that was nice. Burning Blade, they do have like a walk up where you can like order at a counter. It's really more of a bar than it is a food. They do have a food spot that's kind of like out and around the corner in the back of it. Seating in the Burning Blade is very, very limited. So,
Yeah.
you know, maybe do that on the earlier side or maybe the later side, you know, as like, you know, the park is starting to empty out. I could definitely see instances where like you order food at the Burning Blade and like you don't have a place to eat it.
Yeah.
Like where you have to like take it out of the restaurant.
I could see that as well.
I honestly wouldn't even be surprised like if demand is so high, like if they go to like a queue system, kind of like Oga's at Hollywood Studios.
That's true.
Because
I could see that happening.
It's way smaller than Oga's. Like it's not big in there at all, which is kind of cool for like the theming. It feels cozy. But yeah, definitely tight. Let's see. We got a couple comments. No beer after my monster makeover. Connor's out. Mr. Disney King. Yep, just heard that too about the makeup. They can't verify it's you on the ID. Hopefully they warn you before they start the makeover process. Yeah, I hope so too. I do understand that, you know, like with the makeup versus the ID thing. Was the Invisible Man mean or brutally honest with you? Definitely not mean, like where, you know, it's inappropriate, but like he's gonna joke around with you. You know? He's playful.
It's a fun interaction.
Yeah, definitely a fun interaction. That was the only monster we saw that day, other than Igor was out and about, and he was kind of funny. We didn't get a chance to see the Bride or Frankenstein's monster.
Right,
That's
yeah.
top of my list to do tomorrow, though. As Epic increases park capacity with these previews, the lines and waiting for food's getting out of control. Negative food reviews are coming out due to the long waits. Yeah, I mean, we'll be interested to see, you know, how that operation, you know, flows.
Yeah.
We're going tomorrow, like I said, and we will be there for lunch and dinner. So we'll be ordering food twice tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll
you know,
see how it
we'll let you guys
goes.
know how it all works. Stephanie said it'll be interesting to hear your views on these restaurants' quick service from preview capacity to post-open capacity.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to change.
Yeah.
I just hope the food quality stays the same. That's
Yeah.
I don't mind waiting a little bit for the food. If the food is as good as it was when we went
Then
2 weeks ago,
it'll be
I'll wait.
worth the wait.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so moving on from Dark Universe, where did we go next?
Next, we went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I believe.
Yes.
And that like you probably just were about to say the same thing. Like coming into our day at Epic in terms of my hype list of lands,
Lower.
it was on the like not counting Celestial Park.
Yeah.
The Wizarding World was probably like 3 or 4. Not because I don't love the Wizarding World. I do. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. You can't see it, but I got shelves with Harry Potter stuff on it over here.
But we weren't the huge Fantastic Beasts fans.
Yeah. And the Fantastic Beasts film that I like the most is the first one, and that one doesn't take place in Paris. It takes place in New York. So it was definitely a risk with kind of using Paris as the backdrop, as the setting for like the new Wizarding World. And I knew they were going to knock it out of the park. It was just, we have Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, which are so iconic. And, France didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, we were just like, eh.
But then we went in.
But then it changed our mind. Yeah. When you enter that portal, you are just amazed at the scale of this land.
Yeah.
It is huge. Like, the buildings are so tall, it literally feels like you are in Paris. Like, it feels like the buildings are just so big, so detailed. And the other thing about this land is the detail of it. There's so many little things that you can spend all day in there. Like there's like newspapers and just like little things on the building. Like, you can spend all day in there just like looking at all the details of the land.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there was stuff like you would walk right past it.
Yeah, and just not even realize.
That's typical for the Wizarding World. They always do a really good job.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, the reveal. I think the best reveal out of the portal in the whole park is Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
But I think the most impressive one, like the one that when you go through, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Is the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
Which is, it was just crazy. Like, I read something that the tallest building in Diagon Alley is shorter than the shortest building in the Ministry.
That just shows you how tall these buildings are and like the scale of it.
Yeah. And something else that was really impressive was over like in Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, definitely more so Hogsmeade. Like, there's a lot of like false fronts, like a lot of fake storefronts where like you can't actually go into the store. Obviously, there's Ollivanders and like things like that where you can go in, but there's like a lot that you can't go in, that you just kind of have to like look through like the themed window. It's like the opposite over here, where I feel like not every single facade, but a lot of the facades were real. Like, they led into a store or like a place to grab a snack or something, which I thought was really cool.
Really cool. Yeah. Also, we saw live entertainment in the Wizarding World as well. So there was like a band playing.
Great show.
Yeah, it was really good. We stood there and watched it for a while. They did a great job.
Yeah, yeah. One of the main takeaways we had from Epic, like, in general, was like the streetmosphere.
Yeah.
Stuff that used to be in theme parks all the time, which has since, changed a little bit post pandemic and changes to, entertainment. They brought it all back. Like, I know they did cut a bunch of entertainment that was in Celestial Park, but that wasn't due to like financials. Like, they just weren't getting good feedback about that entertainment offering. So, while it stinks that performers that, rehearse those shows and whatever, like, don't have jobs right now or had to, find other areas of the park to work in, they'll probably bring some form of entertainment back to Celestial Park. But the streetmosphere throughout the park is amazing. We didn't get to see the sit down show.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it, but the one that's in the tent.
But people have been saying that it's great. It's getting good reviews. We didn't get to do that, and of course, like we mentioned before, we didn't get to do the ride, the Ministry of Magic, which people are saying is the best ride.
Yeah.
In the whole park. So I'm very excited to ride it when we do get a chance to ride it.
Fingers crossed tomorrow.
That is a ride that people say is unlike any other.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you can't even compare it to anything. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, and while we didn't get a chance to ride the ride, we did get to walk the queue
Yes.
for the Ministry of Magic.
I forgot.
And I know there's a lot of pictures that are out there now. Again, I don't want to spoil too much.
It's so good.
But my gosh, like, you want to talk about the scale of something? Like, the queue for the Ministry of Magic attraction is basically an attraction on its own.
Yeah.
Like, if you just walked the queue and then left, I'd be satisfied.
That was one where I was just like my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, that
I was
was
just like, whoa.
Like, picture the Ministry of Magic the way they portray it in the movies, like how big and grand it is. Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like small, like smaller. You know, like they truly captured that feeling of you're in this massive building.
Yeah.
And they didn't necessarily do it, like, they did it pretty realistically. Like, the ceilings are really, really tall. There is one section where it looks like you can, like, look out, like, you know, really far ahead. And they did combine, like, you know, physical set pieces with screens behind it, so it looks like the offices keep going and going and going. But it was amazing. Like, that was
And the fact
one of the highlights of the day.
And the fact that we get to use the powder.
The flu powder.
The flu powder. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was
so cool.
It was incredible. If I really hope, first of all, I hope the attraction, like, runs pretty smoothly now. I know they're
having some issues.
Yeah, they were having some issues. For the past, like, couple of days, they were doing virtual queue drops at I believe 12, 3, and 6. And then today I saw somebody post out on Instagram that the drops are just going to be intermittent throughout the day. So that tells me that maybe the ride isn't fully operational in the sense of we can accommodate everyone that gets a spot across 3 different virtual queue drops.
Right.
So we'll see. Again, we'll, like, obviously keep you guys posted and do, like, a follow-up to, like, our previews and let you guys know what's going on. But if the ride isn't operating when you go and they give you the opportunity to walk the queue,
definitely do it. It's so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Let's see what else we got here. Mr. Disney King, yeah, just said, can't wait to find out how you deal with the new virtual queue, the ever-changing. That's what I just said that. Yeah, it is ever-changing.
They do offer express passes.
Yeah, Trava, I hope I'm saying that right. Travelore. Aloha from Hawaii. Oh my gosh.
Jealous.
Aloha. Wow, we were just talking about Alani at the beginning of the stream. Miss it so much. They do offer express. I saw you already got that question answered in the chat. So thanks for jumping in and answering that. And that's correct. The pass holder preview express, you have to buy day of. You can't buy it in advance. But if you're coming past May 22nd, which is the grand opening, you can buy it ahead of time, just like you would any other express pass. I think the issue with Celestial Entertainers is everyone is bypassing those people to get to the portals. I doubt anyone wants to stop before getting to the portals. I do expect them to debut. Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak to that. I have no idea what the entertainment was there in the first place.
Yeah.
I just know that a lot of it did get cut. But there is, like, this one part of Celestial Park where it's like a big circle.
Big, like, open space.
Like a big random open circle on the ground. And it's like,
we were like, something is missing here.
yeah, it felt like something was missing. So I would assume that's where they would do, you know, whatever.
Some type of entertainment.
Yeah, whatever shows or entertainment. And then, like I said, I hope they bring it back. So we'll see. Strawberry Cake, that's the one I'm the most excited for. I'm assuming you're talking about the Battle of the Ministry. That is what we are most excited for, too.
Yes, KJ, we are vlogging tomorrow.
Yes, we will be vlogging. Still, we have like a few videos we're going to be shooting tomorrow. Sure. You want to let Bunny in?
Bunny's crying at the door.
Bunny's crying at the door, so
come on, Bun.
if you hear him,
special guest appearance by
if you hear him
Bunsen.
crying.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Okay.
He's probably like, what is going on here?
I
Why are
know.
you guys sitting in here
Talking.
and not laying on the couch with me like we do every single night? But yeah, we'll definitely be vlogging though. probably gonna. We have a bunch of videos that like are mapped out that
Yeah.
we're gonna film, and then we'll kind of go from there. Like I said, we have this preview, which is tomorrow, and then we have another one with the rest of our friends on May 3rd. So we'll probably split up the filming across those 2 dates, and then just kind of depending on how those videos do and how much we can get done across those two, maybe we'll pop in for another pass holder day, assuming
I
they don't
thought
sell
I
out.
heard meowing. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
He's very needy.
He's here. He's literally right here right now. If he gets close enough, I'll pick him up and I'll show him to you guys. Looking to plan a trip to Florida. Do you think someone could do Universal and Disney in one trip?
We were just talking about this.
Yeah, we were just talking about this.
I think it really depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
You can fit it in one trip, but you have to see what is most important to you and like how many days you want to do in each park.
Yeah, like if you're coming for a week, that's kind of obviously I don't know what the amount of time you're coming here for is, but if you're coming for like a standard week-long Orlando vacation and you want to do everything at Universal, like you want to do,
it's gonna be hard.
Studios, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, Epic Universe. Most of your trip is going to be, Universal.
Yeah.
And then you have the ability to tap on a couple of Disney days. But if you just want to do Epic, then you could do that in like 2 to 3 days and then spend the rest of your time at Disney. It just depends on like what, you're looking to get out of it. Like what your priorities are. Kathy said Bunny needs a microphone too. Bunny, let me tell you, Bunny is loud enough. And if you heard him outside the door, I don't think he even needs a microphone.
Bun.
He's the most vocal cat you'll ever meet.
You want to say hi, Bun?
Right. We're trying to get him to jump up on our lap.
Come here.
Let's see. He's thinking about it.
Come on. Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, we did Wizarding World. I think the next place we went to was Isle of Berk, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Either we might have flip flopped those. But yeah. How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. Now, we did watch the first How to Train Your Dragon movie.
Not before we went, though.
Not before we went. We've watched it since.
Yeah.
But going in, like, when they first announced this land was going to be part of Epic, I was like, is How to Train Your Dragon, like,
that
big enough?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I'm a almost 34-year-old, adult. Like, I'm not necessarily the target audience for that.
But people love it.
But I didn't realize how popular it is.
Yeah.
And then when we watched the movie, I was like, oh, yeah, like, this could easily be a land in a theme park. And this land
surprised us the most.
It's so good.
And
it's so good.
Like Matt said, it's arguably one of our favorites. Like they did such a good job. There's fun rides.
Yeah.
There's awesome character meet and greets. The food was so good. Like we have to talk about all of it. So
yeah, I'll say ride wise, the Hiccups Wing Gliders was
so much fun.
Surprise of the day. Like that was
one of my favorite
awesome.
rides that we did that day.
Yeah, think Hagrid's, but like a little bit, condensed. Like I don't want to say for like littler kids, but it's Bunny, what are you doing? Bunny's just like
scratching it.
Big mistake by letting him in here. But it's awesome.
They market it as a family coaster, but it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's on the line. It reminds me of Hagrid's.
Yeah, like it's super smooth. It's so fun. Definitely do it. It was great. We didn't get to ride. What's the one that spins? I forget what it's called.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
But I forget. We did do Fire Drill, which is the water ride. It's like where you sit in a boat and you shoot water at these targets. Now, they warn you can get a little bit wet or you could get soaking wet. We only got a little bit wet.
No, we got.
No. Listen, wait. We only got a little bit wet because we heard afterwards that not all the water effects were working when we rode on it. But
we got soaked in the queue.
We got the most wet when we were waiting in line because as you're waiting in line, the boats are going by and the people are spraying the guns and it's coming over the the fence, and we
Yeah.
were like, oh my God, like I was getting soaked.
Yeah, like at parts of the queue, you're behind the targets that people are like, trying to aim at. So if like you're standing here and someone's aiming at this and they're missing, it comes over the top and
Yeah.
just soaks you. So you definitely get the most wet like while you're waiting for the ride, which I didn't expect at all.
But also you can get soaked. We didn't, because like I said, some of the water effects weren't working properly when we rode. But we actually waited a good amount of time in this line, and I don't think I would wait longer than like
10 minutes.
10 minutes for this ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, but it's more for kids.
Yeah.
It would be nice to do on like a hot summer day just to like cool off. I think also the problem and why we waited for so long was they weren't like efficiently boarding the boats or something. Remember, it was taking a really long time to like board all of the boats.
Yeah, the load process was pretty slow.
Yeah.
But like we said before, it's technical rehearsal.
Yeah.
In our preview, they're still
just
kind of
trying to
working those
figure
things out. But yeah, it's not worth waiting more than 10, 15 minutes for.
Yeah.
And Hiccups Wing Gliders.
Definitely.
Awesome.
And then the other ride, the spinning one, which we can't think of the name of right now, we didn't get to ride that, but people said it's fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Hiccups was, not to like keep bringing up the same ride, but it really was awesome. Like it was so smooth, like Hagrid's. The movements were awesome. What did Catherine say? Excuse me, I got soaked because Matt hit the people in the other boat and they retaliated. Yeah, so you do have the option to just squirt people in the other boat.
Yeah.
And, I may or may not have done that purposely. And, they got us back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hiccups, like there's onboard audio. So like you hear Hiccup like talking to Toothless and you as you're on it.
And then and speaking of Catherine cried at the end because like the main music played at the end and it's like so heartwarming.
Yeah, like you're just soaring on this coaster and it's like bum, 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 bum.
It's so good.
It's like it's awesome.
It's
like,
so good.
So good. So good.
And one thing we haven't mentioned yet is there are lockers for almost all of the rides that are free. And it's pretty cool because they take your picture.
Very cool.
So you just stand in front of the camera, a locker opens, you put your stuff inside, and then afterwards you go back up to the same portion of lockers, stand in front of it, it recognizes your face, and your locker opens. So you don't have to like fumble around for your ticket and scan your ticket.
You don't have to like bring your ticket on the ride with you and like hope it doesn't go flying out of your pocket.
Yeah,
like
super convenient and easy. The lockers are pretty big, so you can like fit all your stuff in there. But yeah, what else?
Just the theming overall. Like,
yeah.
And you want to talk about like the characters. I mean, they had the Hiccup and Toothless meet and greet, which we did get in line to do, but it was just
it was taking too long.
It was taking a long time because it's very interactive. Like each, which is great. Like that's what you want. Like obviously, I'm not knocking it. But each party that goes to meet Toothless, like they're there for a couple of minutes because like you pet them and Hiccup's talking to you
and meeting Toothless is so cool.
Yeah, like we saw it from a distance.
It's not just like a puppet. Like it's really him.
Yeah,
like it really like feels like you're meeting a dragon. Like he closes his eyes and like moves and like opens his mouth. It's so cool.
Yeah, like not to sound corny, but like it's probably the most like magical meet and greet you can have. Like, and I'm talking magical in the sense of like, how do they do that?
Yeah.
Not like what it makes you feel. Obviously, like you bring your kid to go meet Mickey Mouse for the first time.
Yeah.
That's different. But like you see Toothless and you're like, that's Toothless from the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing.
And it's like how is it actually interacting with you, right? Because like when you pet him, he like knows you're petting him because he'll like shut his eyes and like move his head and like it's so cool. Other than that meet and greet, there's also all different like dragon animatronics as you're walking through the park.
Yep.
Like there was
cool,
like
that ice one.
The ice one was really big. There's like the two that are fighting over something.
Yep.
Like so as you're walking around this land, there's all these like dragon animatronics that you can see. This is also a big land.
It felt, I don't know if it like is the biggest, like the Ministry still feels big because it's so grand.
Yeah.
But the layout of Isle of Berk is like a big circle. So you know, it feels pretty big, and there's like a body of water in the middle.
Yeah.
It felt the biggest. I don't know if it is the biggest, but it definitely, at least, you know, the couple of pass-throughs we did, felt the biggest. There's like other roaming characters. There's Rough Nut and Tough Nut, who are like, you know, viral on TikTok and social media now. But just amazing character interactions. Like,
oh, and then there's also a really good show that also we didn't get to see, but that people are saying that's the best show in the whole park.
yeah,
So
it exists in, I believe it's Beijing, Universal Beijing. It's the Untrainable. Is it the Untrainable Dragon? The Untrainable Dragon.
I think so. Yeah. I can't. That's something I'm really looking forward to seeing. Like a literal dragon flies over you.
Yeah,
Like during
toothless.
the show. Like I can't. I'm so excited to see that.
Catherine will cry. So if Catherine's
I might cry.
still watching,
I might cry
know
with
she will
you.
cry.
The two of us will cry together. And then let's talk about the food really quick, because I know there's other food that we have to try tomorrow, but I'm like wanting that mac and cheese cone again.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about it.
There's a food stand there, and they sell these mac and cheese cones, but cone isn't necessarily the word to describe it.
Yeah, because
like,
it's more like almost like a not a pita, kind of like a pita bread.
It's like a big loaf of bread. Like it's not a cone or like a crepe or anything like that.
They like obviously scoop out the middle so it looks like a cone, and then
Yeah.
they put the mac and cheese inside. But it's not just regular mac and cheese. There's all different kinds. So the kind that we had what in it?
I believe it was like mac and cheese, like some sort of like pork,
Pulled pork,
like
maybe.
pork, yeah.
And then our friends Brendan and Catherine got the one with like chimichurri in it, right?
Yeah, something
That
like
one
that.
was really good too.
We tried theirs, too.
both, and both were amazing.
Both were awesome. Highly recommend those. They are pricey. That's the only thing. They're like $15, and like
but they were really good.
it's a lot of bread. Like my only gripe with this, and we were saying this when we ate it, was like the filling on the inside needed to have a little bit more in there.
Like they needed to put
to
a little bit
justify
more mac and cheese. Also on the outside of the bread, there was like everything seasoning,
so
which
good.
made it like 10 times better somehow. But yeah, another like 10 out of 10 food item.
Yeah.
Anything else about Isle of Berk?
Just the now that we saw the movie, and I saw a comment in here. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Dragon films. I plan on just walking into Isle of Berk blind to the stories and introducing myself to the land through the land. That's exactly what we did, because I mean, we were familiar with like
we knew who Toothless
was and
Hiccup
like, you know, whatnot.
Yeah.
But we didn't see the movie until afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to see the movie to appreciate the land.
Yeah.
If you do see the movies, because there's like at least 3 of them, you will appreciate the land that much more, because I mean, just top-notch theming, top-notch storytelling, like through visuals and whatnot. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
KJ said it's my sister's favorite movie, and she's your age. So there you go.
Yeah, it's more popular than we thought.
Yeah, I definitely underestimated it. Love the vlogs. Just watch your Disneyland ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a minute since we've been to Disneyland.
That is on our list for this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could get there.
We're definitely planning on getting out there for the anniversary.
Yeah.
It's an anniversary year for Disneyland. So hopefully sometime soon.
And then Tom wants to know if we're planning any Disney cruises soon. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have anything booked
at the
right
moment,
now. Well, I shouldn't say that. We do have a couple of things booked, but just not in the like immediate short term.
Sorry, Bunny wants to leave.
There goes Bunny.
But
Everybody say goodbye to Bunny.
We'll show Bunny by the end of this, hopefully, if he comes back.
But yeah, we don't have any cruises booked right now for 2025.
But we will.
We will.
We're going this year.
Yeah, we will.
At some point.
We're definitely going. We wanted to do the Treasure, and to be like completely honest with you, like
it's so expensive.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, and we love the week-long cruises. It's our favorite.
Yeah, we love the 7 nights.
It's our favorite itinerary. But I mean, we're talking like $7-8 grand to do the Treasure, which I just can't.
Pricey.
I don't want to say I can't justify it. It's just, you know. It's a lot of money.
And now that the baby is 6 months old, she can go on a cruise. So we do want to bring her on one.
So we also had to wait for that. You know, obviously, you know, we needed her to be of age, but we'll definitely be on a cruise by the summer.
Hopefully, yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a couple good, you know, deals that have popped up. I would love to get back on like the Dream.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I have to look and see what the Dream is doing.
That was our first Disney cruise.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been on the Dream since 2019.
Yeah.
That was our first, like,
that was our first Disney cruise.
First Disney cruise, yeah. Some of our first videos on the channel too was that cruise on the Dream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and we have to look and see. We may not the inaugural sailing of the Destiny, but we were thinking about doing, I think, the second sailing on the Destiny. We are going on the Destiny
with our friends
in early 2026 with our friends, but I think we might go on beforehand, you know, to get content and whatnot for you guys if we could swing it. I would cry seeing Toothless. Well, you and Alex have something in common.
Yeah. Hi, Dad. You want to see Bunny? We're gonna try and show him at the end.
Cruise series soon. Yeah, you know, like I said, Tom, we're hoping to, you know, get back on a cruise very, very soon. Definitely by the end of the summer. Oh my gosh, did you see the HHN icons in the ride of Monsters Unleashed? So I've heard people talking about this, and
I didn't see them.
I didn't see them. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not there. It's just there's so much happening.
That's another thing I was going to say. I feel like you can ride that ride and see something different every time. There's so many things to look at and see. Like, we rode it twice that day, and the second time I was like, oh, wait, I didn't see that the first time we rode it. So they very much could be in there, and we just didn't see it. We'll keep an eye out tomorrow.
Yeah, we will see. Let's see. KJ said, cannot wait for more Disney cruise videos. Well, me too.
Me too.
I miss it.
And
There's
thank
nothing
you, KJ,
like...
for the compliment. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't... maybe we should, but like, we don't really promote the travel agency stuff that you do. But
that's okay.
If anybody is interested in booking anything,
you can
Disney,
always reach out to me.
Disney Cruise Line or Universal, you could shoot us a DM on Instagram. Alex is a travel agent with Academy Travel. She's been doing it for like a long time. Yeah. Like 10 years?
Yeah.
Something like that?
We've done the college program, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, we have one more land to talk about, Nintendo World.
Yeah, which, again, kind of going similar to Harry Potter. Like, I wasn't that excited for this because I knew basically everything that was in the land because it exists elsewhere. Like, we have
in California,
Hollywood, we have Japan, but seeing it for yourself, it was awesome. I know this was like, I think this might have been your favorite land.
I think it was too. Like, and I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, like Matt said, because it exists in other places, like we've seen it so much online. Like, we've seen pictures and videos, we've seen YouTube videos of it. So like, it's not that I wasn't excited to see it, but like, we've seen it. So, but walking in there, the videos and pictures don't do it justice. Like, you have to see it in person because I keep saying like my jaw was on the floor, but when I walked into that land, I literally was like, it feels like they dropped you into the video game.
Yeah.
There's so much to look at. And like Matt said, like the best reveal is Nintendo World, I think. First of all, you walk into the portal and then you get on the escalator to go up, and it's like the
playing all the sounds.
Like the blue, 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 like the video game sounds. You walk out of the castle, Princess Peach's castle, and then you're in the world, and it's just, like I said, you're in the video game. There's so much to look at. It's all so like brightly colored. There's so many things to see. Like, everything's moving. Like the mushroom man walking across, and like the turtle shells are spinning, and that big plant with the mouth. What is it? Like the Venus flytrap or whatever. the heck it is. It's like moving and opening its mouth. There's just it's like sensory overload, literally. Like you don't know where to look first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
it's like highly overstimulating.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way to describe the land,
Yeah.
but in a good way.
Yeah.
Because like there's all the sound effects that are, you know, going on. You have like everything moving around, like the kinetic energy of the entire park, but like especially Super Nintendo World is just incredible.
yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, we didn't get to do any rides in
Well,
Super
we did
Nintendo.
Yoshi.
Well, that's true. We did Yoshi's Adventure.
Which is literally like the people mover of Nintendo World. It's just like a slow moving. You sit in like a Yoshi and it brings you around, but it's a cool vantage point. Like you get
Yeah.
to see the whole land.
Yeah, let him
Bunny's
back in.
crying again, so I'm letting him back in. Come on.
Yeah, not a thrilling ride by any means.
No, but it's a cool way to see the whole land.
Yeah, for sure. And then like Donkey Kong Country, like we didn't get a chance to do Minecart Madness, but just the theming in that section of the land.
And that is unique to Orlando.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, they have it in Japan.
Oh, okay. So it's not in California.
Yeah, yeah. And we didn't get to see Donkey Kong, which I'm kind of hoping he's out tomorrow. We'll
I
see.
know.
I don't
The
think he's
meet
been
and
out
greet
yet.
looks so cool. It's just like his house and then just like a giant
Sack of bananas.
yeah, which is perfect for you, Nanner boy. So we really hope we get to see him tomorrow and ride the ride because people are saying
Yeah.
the ride is really cool.
Yeah.
The fact that it like jumps the tracks is
Yeah.
just awesome.
One thing I hope you guys are kind of taking away from this is, you know, we didn't do Mario Kart. We didn't do Minecart Madness, Donkey Kong Coaster. We didn't do
Ministry.
Stardust Racers. We didn't do Battle at the Ministry.
The carousel.
The Carousel, Constellation Carousel. There,
And then
I could
the,
be missing something, but the two shows.
The two shows.
We didn't do
yeah.
the two shows. We didn't stop moving the entire day.
Yeah.
And like we still didn't get to do everything I just named. So there's, like I said, you know, not to jump around, but like there's no shot you're doing this in a day.
No way. No way.
But yeah, Nintendo
we
was
also
awesome.
didn't try any food in this land.
No.
So that's something that we can try and do tomorrow.
Yeah, honestly,
But there wasn't like a ton that I was like super excited to try in this land.
yeah, there's a few things on the Toadstool menu I want to try, but also like we wanted to save a lot of like the trying of the foods for
you
the
guys,
videos
yeah.
so that you guys can like see
it.
us review the foods and we'll tell you what's good and what's not.
Oh, what was the thing that I want in Donkey Kong Country that you showed me?
Oh, that like ice cream like
It's like
it's like the Donkey Kong barrel and it has like the
What-
ice cream in it
yeah,
with like a
it's-
waffle cone.
It's like banana flavored though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
I need to try that.
Um,
And then also you can meet like Princess Peach, you can meet Toad, you can meet Mario and Luigi. Like
Yep.
there's a bunch of character meet and greets in this land.
yeah.
I also think that Nintendo World has some of the coolest merch.
Yeah, the merch was amazing.
Yeah.
I should have brought it in here just to show you guys like a couple of the things that we brought. You'll see it in the videos. Like we got a few shirts and whatnot, but
I got a
the-
Yoshi bucket hat.
the merch was the best. Like
Yeah.
the best merch I think in the whole park is in Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
And there's just so much of it. Like the One Up Factory is one store that's like the main gift shop there, loaded with stuff. And then there's another store that has a lot of the same items, but
Yeah.
like some other things too. It's just crazy. You can go insane. Like if you're a Nintendo fan, especially if you're a Mario and Luigi Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
They did have like little nods to, you know, Zelda. Like there's those stained glass windows
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
that had Zelda on it. But as far as like the merch goes, everything is like Mario, Luigi,
Oh,
Bowser.
And another thing that I noticed that I thought was really cool that I don't know if a lot of people are seeing, when you're entering the portal of Nintendo World, look at the spinning coin.
Yeah.
On one side is the old school Mario.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the coin is like the current, like more recent, like modern Mario.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's really cool. And then there's also a fountain with like the spinning coins and Mario, which is really cool too. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
Bunny. Oh my God.
His paws are stuck.
Sorry, hold on, guys.
Come on, Bunny. His paws got stuck on my office chair. He tried to jump on the chair, and his nails need to be cut.
Sorry.
And here we
Okay.
are. All right. Let's see. We're getting towards the end here. It's getting a little late, so we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. We do have a couple of
We went over
questions.
pretty much
We went over
everything, so
basically everything.
we're going to open it up. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys definitely want us to cover tomorrow, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Strawberry Cake says, would you dare to rank the universes if you had to at this point?
Oof, so hard.
I'm sure that's going to change, but like if I had to rank them,
Like based
now,
on what? Just everything?
yeah, based on everything, but like, I guess based on our first go around, first impressions and first like experiences, I would say my ranking would be number 5, Celestial Park, and that's not because it's not good. It's just I don't put it in the same grouping as like the actual portals.
Yeah.
So I put Celestial Park number 5, although it's beautiful and can't wait to hang out there more.
Yeah.
Number 4, I might say
I think for me, I'd still put Ministry there.
number 4.
Yeah.
I think I'm putting Nintendo 4.
My heart.
I'm going to put Ministry, Harry Potter 3, Dark Universe 2, and How to Train Your Dragon number 1. That's my ranking.
So I think 5 is Celestial, 4 is the Ministry of Magic, 3 is Dark Universe, 2... I'm like split between Isle of Berk and Nintendo as my number 1. Like it's hard for me to choose between those two.
Yeah, and that's good. Like these lists are going to change.
Yeah.
Like it might
And
change
if you're
after
asking
tomorrow.
me like based on certain things, that's also going to change. Like where like the best rides are, like where the best, I don't know, food is, like, but yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo 4. Well, putting Nintendo 4 just shows you how strong
The
all of
other
these
ones.
lands are.
Yeah. It's really hard to pick, honestly.
It's really hard to pick.
There's like so many cool things about each of them.
Yeah, there was nothing land-wise that was a letdown in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like, none of the lands we
disappointing.
left and we're like, that wasn't what we thought it was going to
No.
be. They all were great in like their own way.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's going to come down to like what your preferences are. Like if you don't necessarily like the Universal monsters, or if you're not into like, I don't want to say scary, but like that
The
more
darker
the
side,
darker
yeah.
side of things, Dark Universe might be at the bottom of your list, right? Like, I like that, so I have it a little bit higher. Just depends on your preferences. Let's see. What is your early morning strategy for Epic tomorrow? Because you're going to battle it out with everyone wanting to be first in. Very good. Good question. My strategy is to not be in that crowd of people that
I
are
was just gonna say I don't
that's
think
trying to
we're
be first.
I don't think we're rope dropping tomorrow just
No.
because we have been there, so we have gotten a lot done. Of course, we do want to show you guys as much as we can, but I think we are gonna go probably like a little bit, not later, but
No, not
like
late.
not
We're gonna get
right
there-
at park open.
Yeah, we'll get there for Park Open. Like the hours tomorrow, 11 to 9, which I'm
Oh,
so
wow.
excited about
Oh,
because we get to see it at night.
Yeah, I was just gonna say last time we went, it closed at 7.
7, yeah.
So we didn't get to see anything at night. Also, are they doing the nighttime show? Because that's another thing I'm excited about.
So they haven't done anything like with fireworks yet, but the other night they were testing like the fountain show at night.
I
which
want to
was-
see that.
I saw like clips of like Nintendo music, like to the dancing fountain. So
Oh,
hopefully we get
wait.
to see that
Another thing we didn't mention is they were testing the flying dragons
today. Yeah, they had the dragons out
If
today.
I see that tomorrow, I might pass out. That is
They're-
the coolest thing I've ever seen. They're just giant drones, but they look like flying dragons in the sky.
Yeah, they're like drones, and then they like put like a dragon like shell kind of on
Over
the
it.
outside of it.
But like,
So
is
that'll be
that
cool.
not the most amazing thing that you've ever heard? That's so cool.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see that.
I'm pretty pumped. Let's see. If you didn't know, when the bells ring in Darkmoor, book it over to the Burning Blades to see the fire erupt. Plays out like in the movie, the town folk moving through the town to light the tower on fire. Yep, we actually did know that. Found that out the other day, which I thought was pretty cool.
And we didn't get to see it burning the first time we went, so hopefully we get to see that tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, so we'll open it up for the last couple of minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions, anything specific that you want to see like covered in our epic content, I'm gonna go out on a limb. There's, people in here watching this. People gonna watch it back on the stream. We're going hard when it comes to epic content. Like now through like the summer.
We want to do like deep dives into each land.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we have like in the works for this park. Very excited to create these videos and create some of the different things that we've kind of talked about putting out. But yeah, we're gonna be going pretty hard with epic stuff.
Yeah.
We won't be first for certain things because obviously media nights and media invites already happen. But I will assure you that although we're not first, we will have like the most comprehensive epic content,
like detailed,
that's out there. We're going to be covering everything. So down to the gift shops and every single thing you can eat in the park and like whatnot. We have a lot of things planned. So if you are curious about Epic, if you're a Universal fan, not to say we're not going to be doing Disney stuff, like we'll still be doing that, sprinkled in here and there, but the main focus is definitely going to be Epic, and then to Tom's question earlier, getting on a cruise as soon as we can.
I was just going to mention something and it just slipped my mind.
Let's see. I'm curious. Mr. Disney King's got another question. It says, I'm curious what merch will be the first to sell out. Find out what's selling in the shops.
I will say that Catherine was looking for the toothless bucket hat, and that was sold out. Hopefully it's back. I will look for it tomorrow, Kat, and if they have it, I'll get it for you. But that was one thing that was sold out. Was there anything else that...
Yeah, so like the first couple of days of team member previews, this is something that I want for obvious reasons, but... They had the vinyl soundtrack to Dark Universe, and if you didn't know, Danny Elfman, who did Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, like all these amazing movie soundtracks, he did the soundtrack to Dark Universe. So the music that you hear as you're walking through the land was all composed by Danny Elfman, and they put out a Dark Universe like limited edition vinyl record. And of the soundtrack.
That's been sold out.
That's sold out immediately. That has not come back yet. And that is for sure something that I want/need. So hope they restock it.
The other thing that I was a little bit disappointed about with the merch is like the actual Epic Universe merch. Like I'm not talking about like the land merch. Like all of that was really cool. But like I wanted something that said like Epic Universe on it, and I wasn't crazy about any of it. Like, I didn't love any of it. I also am looking forward to, I really want opening day merch. Like,
which we won't be there for opening day.
Yeah, but Connor, please get me something.
We'll have to see what they have. But yeah, I agree.
It's better stuff because I'm just not like crazy about the Epic Universe.
Yeah, the Epic Universe like branded stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like okay.
It's kind of generic. Like it's just like the logo like slapped on a t-shirt or whatever.
But like which is fine, but like I'm talking about like the designs of the shirts or like the cuts of the shirts and stuff I just wasn't a huge fan of. But
yeah, I agree.
Something else, but
all right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I think we said everything we need to say. And we've been on for almost an hour and a half. So obviously we're answering questions in the middle, but as you can see, hard to kind of put everything into a shorter form video. So
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. We also have a stay at Helios in
Yes.
June. So keep an eye out on the channel for that too. We're going to review the hotel. I
Yep.
can't wait to stay there. It looks amazing. And the fact that you're literally overlooking the park is so cool.
Yeah, it's going to be
And
awesome.
we have a theme park view room when we stay there. So literally we could be in bed and just like look out over the whole theme park. That's so cool. So we will be staying there in June, the beginning of June. So we will cover that for you guys as well.
Yep. The Kronos Tower, not for sale. We all want that tower. I want that tower too, but
Yeah, that would be cool.
not for sale right now. We'll see if that ever goes up. Even if it's not that exact like one that they were giving out to some of the media people, even if it's like a smaller one or whatever, it'd be pretty cool to have them put on a shelf. But yeah, like Alex said, we got the Helios stay coming up beginning of June, and just a lot of epic content, a lot of like other stuff in the works too. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna do this. We say this all the time, but I'm sticking to it now because now we have like a dedicated
we have
setup.
the setup. We're doing it.
We're finally situated. We're gonna probably do these, I would say monthly maybe.
Yeah.
Or just kind of ad hoc here and there. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We hope
Thank
we answered as many of the questions that you guys had as possible.
Oh,
and
do they
that's
want to
it.
see Bunny really quick?
If you guys want to see Bunny really quick, we
I
could
try and get him.
He's currently laying under my desk, but Alex will try and scoop him up. Let's see. But yeah, thank you guys for jumping on. I know it's late. School night, work night, so appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we will certainly be doing more of these. He won't let you pick them up?
No.
All right, well, you'll have to
You'll have to wait till next time.
you'll have to tune in next time.
He's too comfy under the desk, and he won't let me pick him up.
All right, thank you guys. We are gonna hop for the night, but keep an eye on the channel. First of many, many epic vlogs will be coming out.
Everybody wants to see Bun. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. First of many epic vlogs will be out this Friday, so keep it locked onto the channel. Thank you again for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you guys real soon.
Bye.